Okay, welcome back to the next part of the Nubes cloud-based training. We are going to now work on registering a patient. This works the same no matter which login details you use. If you're using an agent or a supervisor or a nurse, etc., it works the same. Alright, so we're going to log in as an agent. You use the username and password that has been given to you, and you click login. Okay. As you see, this is now it comes onto the dashboard of the agent, and you'll see on the left hand side here it's just got the dashboard programs and applications that are relevant to an agent or a call center agent. You will see that it has already 3 logged cases as a notification, and it's in the inbox there. Alright, but we're going to log our own patient now. This is if you get an email from a company saying please register this patient onto a program, for example from Old Mutual or PPS, etc., or Janssen. If the clients, the insurance companies or the doctors log their own patients, you won't do this again. It will come straight into your inbox. But this is if you're going to register the patient yourself. You click on registration. Right, then it pops up the screen. This first part, this identification box, is the most important one. These are forced fields, most of them. And if you don't fill in these fields, you're not going to be able to submit. You can see that it is still grey, all right? And then you can see these red boxes have popped up saying that this information needs to be added. From a code perspective, this code here is a code that Nubes creates. It's an internal code. It automatically creates it. Reference number. This is the policy number if you get it from a policy, from an insurance company. If it's a doctor that is putting a patient onto the Janssen program or the Sanofi program, this is their patient file number. This makes it easier for the doctor to go back and find what patient this is relating to, the case that they get feedback on. And we can now just give the patient a number. You'll see as it enters in and accepts it, the box turns green. Nickname is not a forced field, as if they have got a nickname, but here we are just going to write our own patient in here. Alright, mobile number. As you see, it's still red, but then as you start typing, it will turn green when it reaches a acceptable. It's given the code that's correctly, or the field that is correct. When we get onto the identification perspective, the ID number, date of birth, and passport number, you need to choose one of the 3. You don't have to fill in all 3, but you need to choose one of the 3. This is very important. So if they are a South African citizen, you enter the ID number. That is actually what we really want. The date of birth and the passport number is there so that if they don't have an ID number for an international citizen, you can either use the date of birth or the passport number. This is what we need for an identification perspective, so we can confirm that we are talking to the right person. Alright, so let's assume this person does have an ID number. You'll see that again, as soon as you type in a valid number of characters, it will turn green and makes it an acceptable field. Alright, again, you don't need to choose all 3 of them, only one of the 3. Alright, then from a program perspective, let's select that this is a Janssen pharmaceutical program. Alright, so this is where the client needs to be registered for the Janssen pharmaceutical patient support program. Okay, then you'll see that we'll open up the next bunch of fields. Now, as far as this program is concerned, the only forced fields are the identification, but we also want to have an email from clients. Okay, and if you know what they are, if it's a Mr. You can either get all this information from the client or from the doctor, or however it comes in. Okay, but these are just they're not forced fields. The only other forced field is the doctor. With the patient support program, you do need a referring doctor, for example. So this is also a forced field. If you didn't have this in the in, it will error out and say that you need to fill it in. Okay. When you get down to the bottom, this is the requests that they've asked for. So if this was a ABSA case, they might request for an HIV or a short medical, etc. It might be a PPS where they ask for an HIV rapid test, etc., etc. So these is where you choose your requirements that you need for these patients. As you see, it's tick box, so they're all ticked already. So this is that you want to have the patient do everything here. If you untick it, the top one, it unticks all of them. The same works for each of the top of the sections to just make it easier for yourselves. Okay. As a default, they're all ticked, so what I would suggest is that you untick them and then you type in what you want to, you can type in for what you want to do to filter out. For example, if you don't want all of the requests, you can start typing in, let's say HbA1c, and you'll see that it will just start filtering out what has that those letters in, and then you can tick it just to make your life easier, and then submit. Right, so you can do that, and then take that away. You'll see that it will still be ticked, and then go for the next request, BMI, and then it will pop that up. And you see it still remains ticked. You want the call center to call this client. There we go. And then it automatically filters out the relevant fields that it needs to. Okay. So for this case, we are going to have all the requests be given. All right. Just check over that you've logged all the information you need. The doctor is there. That number be after the doctor is the practice number, so that when you're speaking to a doctor, you can just confirm that you're speaking to the correct doctor and say, hi, Dr. Moore, just want to confirm your practice number, which is 123456. Fantastic, because you might get a lot of like Dr. Boyter's, Dr. Fonsel's, etc., etc. So just to make sure that you're loading this patient to the correct doctor, which is very important for the LifeScan project. Right, then you click submit. All right. Then they'll come to the register screen, and then you can see your the breakdown of what you've just done. So it's the code, which is the LifeScan, the Nubes code. The reference number is either the policy number or the patient file number if it's for doctor's rooms. The ID number, email, phone, the program is correct, etc., etc. And now this patient is logged. Yeah. If you see now that it will now pull through to the inbox. It must take some time, and once or it goes to the allocated call center group once you register the patient. So, for example, if this agent isn't connected to the Janssen group, it won't come into their inbox because it's not necessary. So any player in the Nubes system can register a patient and put it to the correct program, and then the system will direct it from there to the correct call center. In the next video, we will go on to the next stage of actually opening the patient and working on the file. As you see, it's just pulled into the inbox. It's gone. You'll see that the notification has gone to 4, and then the inbox over here is on 4, and there is your patient R. Hammond. You'll see that it's green because the case is now fresh. In other words, it's still within its time. If it turns to orange or then to red, orange means it's starting to get out of date, and then red means it's out of date. That's why these cases are on top of that patient. In other words, that they need to be worked on first because they are out of date before you work on a fresh case. Right. Then in the next video, we will go through working on the case itself. To log out, you just click on your profile and sign out.